and welcome to another edition of the Part of the Pride and Aston Villa Women podcast. We are very happy to be back. We've got actual football to be talking about, and as promised this week, I do have the correct intro music. So let's do this. Let's see if it works, and I'm sure it will. So we'll see you right after this. Wasn't too bad, was it? That wasn't too bad at all. It'll get a bit more seamless the more we play about with it, because the people who joined in last week for our preview, you will have heard me say this is brand new software, but we're getting there. But yes, excited this evening to be joined by the lovely Gary and Emily. How are you both?
Good.
Very well, thank you.
My brain's a bit scrambled. I can't promise how much of the match I remember, but
well, hopefully, this should be where people in the chat get involved as well. Now, so hopefully, people watching will will remember the details. But I promise, we're going to be fun. We're going to be fun, as always, with the chaos that we always bring. So. This was Matchday 1, first of the season, first away day as well. What would you rather, both of you? Would you rather start the season away, or would you rather start the season at home with all the fans behind you? What would you rather?
We've kind of done the furthest trip so far, you know. Well, but we're not going to go much further than Brighton, so the rough one's out of the way.
Yeah, one down. Yeah. Well done, absolutely. Yeah, Emily, what were you saying?
I think game-wise, probably I feel like it would have been nicer to start at home, but yeah, that was a long day, so that's done. That's out of the way.
I can imagine
until we inevitably get them in the cup at some point. I feel like that always happens.
Yeah, always them, always Spurs. Just same teams over and over again. Yeah, because it's interesting, isn't it? Because especially, and I think we mentioned this last week as well, with the transfer window ending so close to the start of the season, it felt like any build up to the start was kind of lost amongst all of the madness and things like that. So, but yeah, would you say there was a good travelling turnout? It looked like quite a few Villa shirts there.
I would say so. It was. It definitely also felt like the fullest I've seen that stadium. I mean, it wasn't full by any means, but it's the most fans that have been there for any of the matches I've been to.
Yeah, because even I've been there, previously a couple of times, and you're right. There's always been a good atmosphere, but never full. So, I mean, that shows the effect that audiences are still growing and attendances.
Yeah,
the appetite for women's football.
I think
is there.
It's quite a good. I mean, the ground isn't up. The upkeep of it is not great, but as a ground, I think it's quite good because you end up with fans all the way around. Because it's got the stands on either side, and there were Brighton stand. Obviously, Brighton fans our side, but we were sort of one side and Brighton were the other, and then you have the end where you can stand behind the goals, and it ends up being a sort of all-around thing rather than even when we play at Bescott, we only are one side.
Yeah, one side and a bit behind
the goal, and there's fans all the way around.
Yeah, no, you're right. Because some people, they prefer to be behind the goal, don't they? So to have that freedom to move around, kind of claim an area, was quite nice. Yeah, absolutely. So let's get into the game then. I've kind of put bullet points as I went through. For anyone else who watched it, so this one was on Sky Sports. And the build-up that I got really excited to, I was like, oh, I'm going to hear about all the teams, we're going to hear about, all the facts. And then they didn't actually talk about Villa until the camera switched to Villa. And suddenly the teams were walking out. Because it was all on the Merseyside derby, of course, that was happening at the same time. So there's two sides to it, isn't there? So just before we talk about the game, Gary, Sky were talking about, because the kickoffs are all at the same time, they're going to do like a multi-view and it's going to be, you know, all at once, a bit like Soccer Saturday drama type thing. Would you rather that? Because or some people are saying actually we quite miss the staggered start times, so you could finish one, go to another. What do you prefer?
Think to help the game grow, it's not actually a bad thing. Where people have the option to choose what games they want to watch, or they can even skip back and forward. You know, Sky done that in the men's game a few years ago.
Mm.
Whatever the men's game first came on the Sky, and I think it helped there. Where Man United were maybe playing and Liverpool were maybe playing, and people could skip back and forward between the two games rather than really having to choose. It's a wee bit like the BBC Red Button. Do they not do that sometimes? Where you push the red button and you can choose what match you want to watch. So it gives people options, and it brings all the supporters in. You're not always just watching the top teams. It's not always just Chelsea or just Man City. You know, the ones that Sky knows that everybody's going to want to watch.
Mm.
They're giving people options because like Leicester's maybe not top of Sky Sports list of who they want to watch, but
Really?
the fans would want them going to watch them. It's the
Yeah,
same
no,
as even yourself. People in general don't seem to want to watch women's football, but the more we put on TV, the more people might actually watch women's football.
more offers there. Yeah, good. And especially, I think, for the more casual fan as well, you might not know what games are on. So if Sky say, hey, these four are going on, take your pick, you might watch a bit of one, a bit of the other, and kind of see what's going on. Yeah, no, I agree. Emily, for you, have you got preference?
I mean, selfishly, I'd prefer them to be staggered so I could watch them. Because obviously, like, by the time our game had finished, basically all of the other ones that weekend had also finished. So
yeah,
the only I guess if you're attending a game, the only other games you can watch are like the Friday night ones or if they've got one on a Saturday lunchtime or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. The ones that are actually going. And I think it became also almost a habit, didn't it? Like, oh, the 12 o'clock's finished. Let's watch the 3 o'clock. Let's watch.
I guess it's because I guess it's like what Gary's saying. It's helping the casual, or trying to bring in more of the casual fans rather than team specific. Because I guess I would only watch the other ones because they were on and it was women's football. Like, I'm not, avidly tuning into another team's game each week, but also I'm kind of interested in what happens in those games because it affects how what our season looks like.
Yeah.
So
and then you get the full picture, don't you? With all the games. Yeah. I love how Couture has been like, no, it is all about Chelsea.
I do like the staggered when it comes to the big competitions. Like whenever the Euros were on during the summer, it was nice that there maybe was a match kicking off at 3 o'clock, and then you had one like 5 o'clock, and those big competitions, because you want to watch all the games, so you're not necessarily following just one team.
Yeah.
Especially for me, because Northern Ireland don't qualify, but it's that sort of thing that I was watching as much of it as I possibly could.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, because you watch it for the love of it, don't you, and the enjoyment of it. It's in there. I got West Ham versus Spurs out of the way, then Villa and Brighton. I can enjoy the goal fest in the other two. Yeah, we know they took all our goals from us. It's a bit rude, wasn't it? That they hogged them all in the other matches. But we will talk about it, don't worry. And Sophie's in the chat. Hello to Sophie. Oh, lovely Sophie. I do like you can choose to multi-view and just watching one. Yeah. Because again, if you are just interested in one, you've got the option. And of course, going back to talking about Brighton,
Okay.
Good to get out of the way before the pitch gets torn up. Yes, absolutely. Because we've fallen foul to bad pitches a few times.
Yeah. It was really good on Sunday. You could tell it was the start of the year.
Yeah.
It's like, we'll take this one now. Thank you, please, and thank you. Absolutely. Now then, so the game started, and we'd kind of had an idea of what the starting lineup was going to be, because of pre-season and things like that, trying to put a picture together. So just to recap, for those who might have missed it, we had Delonde, Patton and Wilms as a back three. Then we had Maritz, Missy Bookhands, Jill Byings, and Chastity Grant in front of them. Then we had Rachel Daly playing a bit deeper, bit more as a 10, which we've talked about before, pushing her a bit deeper. And then Kirsty and Ebony up front. And I've just realised as I was doing that I changed how I announced everyone's names as I went there. So there we go. And Emma's joined us. Hello, Emma. How are you? Oh, she's on mute. Oh, I can't hear you. Never mind.
I unmuted myself. Oh my god. I'm
just
good.
want
How are
you
you?
to talk. That's what it is. But you good?
Yeah, how are you?
Yes, good, thank you. Haven't even started the game yet. We were just talking about I was going to say sponsorship. That's not the word at all. Sky, broadcasting.
Imagine sponsored by
That's
Sky.
the one. Broadcasting, and things like that. So yes, let's get into it. So, were we happy with that starting lineup?
Yes.
What we expected?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think it's our strongest out of the bunch. Overall.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't know. Moretz on the left.
No?
I thought
Go on then, Gary.
I thought Moretz was better whenever she was brought back in the centre back and we had Maltby on the left. The game completely changed. We'll have more speed and we'll have more width. I don't think Moretz has that. She's not a wing back. She's not quite as attacking minded as some of the other ones that we've had.
I did find it odd that out of the two wing backs we were playing, we appeared to be going down the left all the time.
Yeah.
Chastity was so far back.
Yeah.
I found that very weird.
And the speed of Vilms, you'd think, actually, let's go down the right.
Yeah, they were so far back that they barely, well, in the first half especially, because that was when they were attacking like towards us. Ebony kept sort of getting the ball in space quite high up on the right hand side, and there was just nobody else around her. She was really isolated because they were so far back, and it was like a complete opposite of what it was the previous week at Bescott, when like it felt like Chastity was bombing into the box like every couple of minutes.
I agree. And Sophie's saying there in the chat, maybe Paolo was a last minute injury and they kind of had to put Moritz in there to kind of
I don't think Paolo was any better as a wing back. I wouldn't pick Paolo over Noel.
No, but then that's just another reason why I think it was a massive mistake letting Maz leave. I think if you had Maz and Maltby to choose from on the left, you would have a headache. Whereas Paula and Moretz, I don't really rate as wingbacks.
No, and considering what a weekend Maz had as well, a fantastic one. You just, I mean, we will see it until the cows come home. We wish Maz would have stayed on for her speed and her attack, absolutely. So yeah, it was a bit strange. Do we like Rach playing that bit deeper role and letting Ebony and Kirsty kind of come up top?
I think it
gives us more speed up top.
Okay. I know. I was like, yeah, everyone. And I was like, no, actually, you're all going to talk at the same time. So Emma, I think you started first. What were you going to say?
I think it's better for her because she can then do all the things that she wants to do without having to think too much about, I need to be in the box, but oh my god, my defence aren't doing very well, so I need to defend as well. So being in the middle, she's doing both, and she can then think about both without needing to panic about not being in the box. If that makes sense.
Yeah, because she quite likes controlling things, doesn't she? And I think, especially with Lucy Stan out as well, they kind of need that big character where she is. Gary, what do you think?
I agree with what Emma said, because Rach was always dropping back anyway, and you never had anybody up front. But if you're going to have people up front, you kind of wanted to be Ebony and Kirsty because they're probably two of the fastest players that we have.
Yeah.
So they're good because last season we spoke about how much we always played the ball backwards, we were hardly ever playing it forward and stuff. And actually watching her on Sunday, we were trying long balls, we were trying different things, we were trying to use Kirsty's pace, trying to use Ebony's pace. You know,
Yeah.
we're not quite as one dimensional as we had been for a lot of last season. So it's nice to see different things trying. You know, how many times last season we'd turn around and say, "Would you just bloody well shoot from outside the box?" And we never
Do something.
did. Whereas Sunday there was like 6 or 7 shots from outside the box. You know that there was attempts. You know, obviously Wilms nearly took Haley's head off, and
Oh my god.
It's not funny. It's not laughing. I'm very ill-timed laugh.
Haley hit the bar. You know, we had chances because we were mixing things up. And Daly probably wouldn't have had that chance if she hadn't been playing a wee bit deeper.
Yeah.
That is very true.
I think she's getting. I think she's finding her feet in that role more.
Yeah.
The longer she's been in it, I do think we. Well, I don't know. I think we still miss someone like Kenza, who's naturally in that position.
Yes.
But I think Rach is. Yeah, I think she's becoming more suited to it the longer she plays her.
Yeah, doing a
I
good
think-
job. Yeah, absolutely.
I think as well it's better with her being captain there because at least you can kind of see what's in front of her and what's kind of going on behind her. Whereas if she was playing completely up front, she'd have less of a view on what's happening, especially in the defence because of how far back they'd be from her. If that makes
Yeah, I
sense.
always find it funny when strikers are captain.
Yeah.
Yeah, because surely, you know, I mean, you're better off as a goalkeeper, aren't you? Just like you can see everything that's happening, so can do it. But yeah, no, I agree. She's got more awareness of the game as a whole, absolutely. So it was a bit of a slow start for both teams, and the whole game was very much the Neely had one there. And you just thought, is this the way it's going to be? And then you saw the clock winding down, and you're like, yep, that's it. Unfortunately, that's it. However, there were attempts at both sides, as we've kind of touched upon. So let's have a look. So both teams trying to suss each other out. Both had quite positive transfer windows. I did have to laugh at the commentary quite a few times because one of the opening things was both managers under 40. As if it was like a roundup of the top 10 managers under 40. And it's like, okay, yeah, they are. Well done. You've got a comparison. But yeah, so it took until about Rachel's effort off the crossbar, which we have just touched upon, which was at the 30-minute mark. So it took quite a while to get going. Brighton had a couple of chances, hadn't they? But again, hadn't come close. Sabs, some very brave goalkeeping. I think Seike nearly took her head off at one point. But she got back up, and that's our Sabs. So, Emma, when Rachel's shot hit off the crossbar, do you think that injected a bit of energy? Because then Villa had about 5 minutes where you thought, right, they can get back into it here and take it up a notch.
Yeah, I think the whole game as well was like very much 5 minutes us, 5 minutes Brighton. Like it was very kind of not end to end, but it was very like, right, we'll have 5 minutes now, and then you're going to have 5 minutes type thing. Not that they were like sharing it like that, but that's how it felt.
Yeah,
The whole game, really.
yeah, it was equal in that sense, wasn't it? Because we couldn't score, and neither could they.
Yeah.
Which quite good, really. But the one thing that I think we all kind of agreed about was, Gary, I'm going to come to you, because as soon as we put it in the chat, everyone went, yep, there should have been a card. The challenge from Adjuman on Anna Patton, when Patsy went up for the ball and Adjuman kind of went up for the ball, but was nowhere near. And it didn't turn into a card. So, Gary, for you, should it have been a card?
Yeah, I was watching it last night, and she wasn't even looking for where the ball was.
No, there's no attempt to play the ball, was there?
But it was like even in rugby, that tackle's illegal now. You know, you have to wait until the player's feet are actually on the ground. You can't just jump into them. But yeah, she literally just jumped into her and they went down like a sack of spuds. It's like, really? I thought she wasn't even trying to get the ball.
I don't even remember the ball
Hitting her.
being anywhere near them. Like they both like it was in the middle of the sky still.
Yeah, the ball was still coming.
Yeah,
Patton was sort of still standing on her feet, and Michelle literally just jumped straight into her.
Straight, yeah. And you just watched it and went, now I'm not a professional. I've watched a bit of football. I kind of know what's going on. But yeah, no, that wasn't even close. That was severely misjudged. But Emily, for you, because you, of course, were there, as well as Gary. The refereeing as a whole, I've heard a lot of people say various comments about it. So because you were there firsthand, coming right to the source, there were some iffy calls, weren't there, throughout? Not just the referee, but lines people as well. So yeah, from your perspective, how much did that impact the game?
I think it, especially first half, down the right hand side with Chastity. I can't remember the name of the player she was marking. But that 1-to-1 battle they kept having. Every time Chastity, vaguely brushed shoulders with her, the ref would blow up for a foul on Chas. And then, he did it so many times for things that weren't fouls. And then at one point he blew up again for a thing that wasn't a foul. And that was, I think, when she obviously, that was the final straw, and she turned around and said, she got really angry. She turned around and said something, which then obviously led to a yellow. And then that then affects how she plays going forward. But I mean, it's probably a bit rich coming from me because I was shouting quite a lot at the game. But I'm not saying that the players should speak back to the refs or speak, I don't know what she said, but speak to the refs like that. But also, it's like a ref can be completely rubbish, and there's no way to challenge that in a game. Because if you challenge it, they just double down on it. There's no way to
it's seen as dissent, and then it gets worse. And no, you're absolutely right.
But in general, there were so many. I think that's. I don't know if you can find out anywhere how many of our yellow cards were for dissent, but I feel like at least half of them were.
I think most of them were.
But the thing is, Brighton have a really, really good swim school. And I've kind of noticed that quite a few of their players went down on the slightest touch. So I think instead of the football pitch, they've been in the diving pool this week.
They were.
They went down quite easily. I remember the most obvious one was Seike. Seike went down very easily. I think Delon had maybe touched her back.
Over the far side. It's not the far side. Yeah.
Yeah, the far side, that one, yeah.
They did an equal...
Yeah, Delon got a yellow card for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Yes, she did.
Yeah. And then there was a similar one happened second half, the reverse way round in front of us, and it wasn't even blown.
But Grant got her yellow card for the same, so she was in against Michelle at that stage, and Michelle went down really, really easily. And that's whenever Grant just blew up and shouted at the ref, kind of like, are you actually serious here?
There was
what is going on? Yeah, absolutely.
And also, if you're Brighton, if the ref's going to blow every time a Villa player vaguely touches you, every time a Villa player vaguely touches you, you're going to go down, aren't you? Because you're going to get given it.
You're going to play the game, absolutely. And we know it's always a scrappy game against Brighton. That's kind of what we expect. But you'd think, again, if that's how the ref's going to play it for everyone.
You look at their 2 cards, and they're the 84th minute, and then in extra time of second half.
2 cards? Did I miss something? I thought Brighton only got 1.
They got 1 right at the end. It was 90 plus 1.
So Madison Haley got 1 in the 90 plus 6th minute. And Ola Slagers, who definitely should have got a yellow before 84 minutes, finally got 1 in the 84th minute. Yeah, his tensions were starting to rise. Exaggerating? Absolutely not. Watch the game back.
I think obviously because when we're there in person, we're completely in that moment.
Yes.
And obviously you're going to root for your team, but some of the calls, especially the linesman that was in front of us.
Well, the one that was too busy playing on the phone.
That's not a subjective thing. Offside or not is okay. Yeah, he's got to decide, but you need to be in the right place on the pitch to see if it's offside or not in the first place. And then when the ball goes out right in front of you, and the Villa player has bounced it off the Brighton player, and then you give the throw to Brighton.
Yeah, confused everybody and had to turn it around and give the
And then,
throw
I mean,
on the
he
fella.
changed his mind on that, but you just think, like,
Come on.
this literally, it's your one job.
But did anybody
Well,
else see him? He had his
women's
phone or
football
something in his pocket.
I think it was a notepad. I think.
I just seen him with something in his hand, and he was always about 15, 20 seconds behind the run of play. So the ball's
Maybe it
being
was the
played up, and the amount of offside calls that he actually gave, whenever he was nowhere near in line with it. You know, he was still down the halfway line, and the ball was up the 18-yard, and he's 20 seconds behind the run of play and waving offside. It's like, mate, you have not got a clue. We're in line with that. We could see that it's not offside.
Handily, they draw a line on the pitch at the top of the box.
Funny that, yeah. Because I remember the one that sticks out for me was Rachel just hit the crossbar, and then like minutes later she was through on goal again, and then suddenly the whistle went, and everyone was like, "What?" Like she wasn't. And even the commentators were like, "Oh, that must have been tight if that was given as offside." But again, it's all about angles, and you're trusting the officials to make that correct call, because ultimately it influences the game.
They're also
That's the officials that do their job.
They're supposed to be like an officiating team, right? Isn't that what they all like talk to each other? They have earpieces and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it was in extra time, or near extra time, right near the end, when Brighton got given a free kick on the edge of the box.
Yes.
And I was, we were all in the midst of cheering Rach for the great clearance she'd just done.
Yeah.
And he blew it for a foul. And then I don't know if she said something or the yellow card was for the foul, but either way, we were just like, what is happening? That is ridiculous. And the linesman was literally stood about 4 feet in front of where we were. So he saw Rachel kick the ball just as much as we did. So why he doesn't say anything to the ref is baffling.
It just makes you think, why is there such a communication breakdown? Because even if he agreed with the ref for whatever reason, they should still have that communication of, I agree, or support that, or whatever. But yeah, when it's that obvious, and it's just this is why we need more training, and we want to support them at the end of the day, don't we? We just want to make sure that they're confident. And
it's ridiculous that the league is professional, but am I right in saying that the referees aren't? Is that right?
I don't know about all of
them.
Yeah, unsure.
I actually think Sunday's ref was a professional blackjack player, and he's just used to giving out cards all the time.
And
any opportunity, it was out of his pocket.
Yes, because we will confirm Villa got 6 cards during that match. So yeah, 6. I mean, that when you look at it, it does tell a picture, doesn't it? So yeah, I mean, as you know, maybe Couture's got a point there. Maybe you're on a winning streak towards the end of last season. Brighton saw you as a threat, as they should, every time. But of course, on the positive, it's still unbeaten. Yes, but hey, we're still in the first half. We won't get ahead of ourselves. So we have mentioned Lynn Wilms smashing the ball into Madison Haley's head. He is fine, as far as we know, but the power on that shot, like, I know Haley had to get in the way of it to stop it going in goal, but the thump when it came off her head, the power was insane.
I don't know if it showed you whenever you were watching on Sky, but the ball hit her head that hard that it actually bounced over the stand.
Did actually. We can laugh because she's fine. I just want to put that out there. But she went down, didn't she? She had treatment for it because what a thump did it in her head.
I was convinced that the ref was going to give that as a drop ball because I was like, well, it bounced off her, it's a corner. And
Yeah.
Delon had literally, she'd grabbed the ball and was stood at the corner flag with it and was like, "This is our corner. You're not having the ball back."
Your head put this out, therefore it
Yeah.
is our corner.
How good are her corners, though?
Hey,
What was I going?
DeLon, how good are her corners?
it nearly went in twice from a corner.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
Like the set pieces have definitely been brought up a notch this year.
Yeah, definitely. Because with DeLonde on corners and then Vilm's taking free kicks as well, like as a pair, our set pieces should definitely be something to watch out for. From
And
other
we're
teams.
trying new things.
And trying new
We're
things,
trying new
yeah.
concepts.
Yeah.
What is this?
I mentioned earlier.
I was like, what
Like-
is going on? Like,
Yeah, we're not
What?
stuck in a rut. We're not going to be predictable, I hope. Anyway, it's got everything crossed. We're not going to be. But, you know, we're a team that can compete. And considering, when did we get our first point last season? November? Ish. Yeah.
But was it that early?
I think.
Sorry.
I think maybe we drew with Spurs vaguely early on, but then that was all we got for
No.
ages and ages. I don't even know if it was Spurs.
Yeah, because was it a
We
draw?
kept drawing, didn't we?
Then we got the Palace win.
The Palace win was the
And
first
then
one.
that
That
was
was
just
that
before
was in like
Christmas.
December. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was our
November.
first win. So
Yeah.
the fact that we've played one game and we've got a point from it, like that's 5,000% improvement on last season already by picking up points. But while we are talking about Lynn Vilms, can we just have a spotlight on her of the caliber of player that she is and what she's brought into this team? Now it talks about kind of set pieces and things like that, but do you think her experience has really had a knock-on effect, Gary? Do you think she's brought, like, she is bringing those standards up in the team?
I think the signings we've made have increased the standards. You know, like
As a whole.
all of them. Like Lynn Williams, she's going to be invaluable. I think. Like just watching her on Sunday, says she is going to be invaluable. But it's the same whenever you look at the lawn. She looks really good as well. You know, and even Roebuck. You know, everybody obviously she had her stroke and so on, and everybody thought she might not return to football, but she has, and she looks so confident watching her on Sunday. It's actually a joy to watch.
Yeah, I was going to say the confidence. Yeah, is the end of the first half was 8 minutes, I think, of extra time in the first half, and you just think, it's going to be another one of them matches. There's going to be like that Arsenal match where there was 12 minutes of extra time and they're going to score.
Yeah,
and,
it was because I actually think Sabs probably should have come off earlier than because she went down when she went in to claim the ball at one of the Brighton players' feet. It was sort of reminiscent of when she broke her nose and stuff last season with the Dan Turner tackle, like not tackle obviously, but situation. But so the medical team came on, and like Roebuck, she was putting her shin pads on, she was putting her gloves on, she was ready to go, and then Sabs got up and carried on, and then I think they came on again because she sat down, and then that time they were doing like a, head neck check sort of thing.
Yes.
And we were like, oh right, well she's definitely going off this time because it's probably concussion.
Yeah.
And then she stayed on till half time. It was very bizarre. And we haven't had an update, have we? On
no, they haven't released anything. Because Ellie Roebuck, and again the camera angles when I was watching it, they were like, oh, Ellie Roebuck's still down on the sidelines. So you could tell Ellie was just like, okay, come on, if you're gonna make it.
The bench,
it was warmed up and stretching for about 20 minutes.
The subs players sit behind, in the stand part behind the bench at Brighton. Yeah. So she was like, up the stairs, down the stairs, up the stairs. Am I coming on? No, not.
Like coming and going in the little gate, and then the man was trying to open it for her, and then close it, and then they were just doing a little dance around the gate. Every time she thought she was coming on. But half time, Ellie Roebuck does come on, and like we mentioned, it's fantastic to see how confident she looks and happy she looks to be out there again. and just really, glad we're the club that she can have that and can feel like that. Obviously, we hope Sabs is okay, of course. But I hope that this was the plan anyway, to maybe have more of a rotation. Maybe not same game, of course, but to use both of them together as a unit rather than have out and out number one and then one as a number two.
I think that she didn't, aside from maybe a couple of shots. I remember that one where she sort of tipped it onto the post, or it was going to go down to the right hand side. She didn't have that much to do in terms of shots from the Brighton players. I feel like our defence was actually worked really well on Saturday.
Yes.
As the back line of it, perhaps the transitioning into like the wing backs didn't work so well, but I thought the back three did really well. I thought Patsy had a great game as well.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. As always, our Patsy. I just worry. She's such an integral part of the squad. If anything did happen, what would happen? But then I'm not going to think about it, and then it won't happen.
But then Parker was always reliable last season.
She was, yes.
But they made a good partnership, so I'm less worried that because if we're playing three at the back, I think Moritz is going to be more the utility player now, or I think she should be, because she can play anywhere along the back line, but I don't think she's a starter across the back line. I don't know, I'll probably get some hate for that, because she's a good player, and I'm a fan of her. I just don't think she's in the strongest team.
See, I still really like her. For me, she's still got that grit and that power and the slight aggression that I think that we do need in some games. Some games, maybe she's more suited to certain styles. Because when you're up against...
I'm more inclined to think, well, if we're looking wing backs, I'm thinking Maltby and Grant. In fact, even watching Grant the other day, she was that defensive, I'd have probably had Maylene on ahead of her, because whenever she came on, we actually had a bit of width in the game. But I think the back three's probably looking like DeLon, Patton, and Wilms. And Parker's the only player that I think would be strong enough that would keep it at that same level. Moritz will do a job, but I think she's the new Dan Turner. But we all love her, but she's the player that gives you the depth in the team.
I do. The what you said about Sarah coming on, I do think that would have been a better option for that game, because with Chastity on the right hand side, they were playing so defensive anyway. We weren't like utilising Chastity's strengths, which is the attacking side of it more. And you could play Sarah there, and then that frees up Chastity to play perhaps as one of the top two, which she's sort of doing when we make subs. But we could have maybe started like that.
Yeah, because let's talk about the subs, shall we? So, of course, at halftime, Ellie Roebuck comes on, Rachel Maltby comes on, of course, very, very impressive, as Gary's mentioned. And Sarah Merlin comes on around 60 minutes, and hey, she's up front, she's up top. And you're just saying, oh, okay, this is going to happen. But again, she injects so much energy into the game, doesn't she? So do you think a 60-minute sub for Sarah Merlin is a really good... She should have a half an hour to really, really get stuck in. Do we think that's her role now? Has anyone got any thoughts about that?
Yeah, I think...
We can... Go on.
No, you go.
Yeah, go on, Emma.
I'd hope we can, like... Because last season she really then started to... At the end of last season, she started to earn that place.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that she can still earn that place. And not, like, just be a super sub kind of thing. But, okay. I mean, half an hour is better than 15 minutes, so, you know...
True.
Can't really moan at that. So, at least she's got more time to actually do something and not try and work a miracle. So, either way, as long as we get to see her, I'm not too bothered. But I think as long as she's fighting...
And she's still an important part of the team-ish. We're not kind of forgotten about. Emily, what were you going to say?
Yeah.
I don't really know.
Okay.
It's a mystery. I think in general, which sort of ties into the Sarah sub and positions changing round.
Yeah,
I think
'cause
we
as
need
Nick
to.
said, it was confusing.
Yeah. I think we need to like tailor the starting lineup and stuff to the teams that we're playing.
Yes, rather than
Like,
have a set
so
11.
next week
Yeah.
perhaps
Yeah.
start Sarah rather than Chastity. I don't know. But also, I think the way I don't know, because we finished the season really strong, so it's hard to find points against the 3 at the back wing back system and playing sort of 2 up top. And I like us playing like that, but I don't think it particularly worked very well on Sunday. And I think the squad that we've got and the subs that we have available, of which there weren't particularly very many on Sunday because we've already got 5 missing. I think we've left ourselves a bit. We're going to struggle to change formation mid-game, if you know what I mean? To switch it up if it's not working. Like, we can go to a back 4, we've got loads of defenders. But I think up front and centrally, we've left ourselves a bit. I don't know what the word is.
Exposed, vulnerable.
Exposed, vulnerable.
Deprived.
One of those.
Right.
It's like Chastity played the whole game.
Yes.
Because even though her position got substituted when Sarah came on effectively, she didn't go off. She had to move to a different position and play, I guess, as part of the front 2 after Ebony had come off.
Because Ebony went off, yeah. So,
and then when Kirsty comes off, the only other attacking player we had on the bench is Georgia Mullett. So there is no other option. Like, if we were taking Chastity off, we would have to go back to having 1 up top and a different system, and it just doesn't seem like we have that flexibility at the moment with the squad. I don't know if any of that made sense.
No, it did. No, it was very good. When we've got Gabby back, so of course Gabby's out injured, that is another body up front, isn't it? And
Do we
again,
know how long she's out?
No.
Or have we not been told anything like that?
No, we haven't
Inflexible.
said inflexible, yeah. That. And that's the thing. We need to be confident and fluid in how we can adapt to different teams, because if we fall into the rigid, other managers' style of coaching, then we're gonna be in a bit of trouble. Because so we had just kind of go through them then. So Malt be on for Delonde, as we mentioned, and Roebuck on for Stabs. Then we had Sarah Mail and Miri Taylor coming on for Jill and Ebony. Again, Jill had a fantastic match, didn't she? Should she have got carded a bit earlier? She's just very feisty in the middle, and that's why we love her. We really, really do.
I love the fact that Jill picked up a yellow card and replaced her with Mary. Mary was barely on the pitch and picked up a yellow card.
Yeah, Nick had a bet going on.
He was on the pitch for 12 minutes before she picked up the yellow card. Oh, Mary. But hey, I will say though, like when Mary first came, and again, it always takes time to settle, but we knew we could see something there, didn't we, when she first came? And it was getting that consistency and that confidence. She was putting some cracking through balls through the weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she had a good game after she came on.
Yeah, I was like, this is exactly where she needs to be. Essentially, she was really good. Now,
See, before the game, a couple of people were a wee bit wary because we didn't have Stanleyford.
Yes, that's always a worry, isn't
I
it?
was a bit worried.
How good were Jill and Missy?
Oh, Missy had a great game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I voted for her for player of the match.
And then obviously Mary came on and again another solid performance in the middle. I think we're stronger there than we maybe give the team credit for sometimes.
I think Missy had a great game, and in general they played well, but I do still think they were. I would say that Brighton won the overall battle of midfield. I feel like they had good games because they were having to put the tackle in and win the ball back and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? I feel like
Yeah,
a
they
lot of
had
the
to be
play
a bit
was just
more.
bypassing the midfield when we
Yeah,
were trying to attack.
yeah, they had to be more obvious.
Although I haven't watched the game back, so
Yeah.
that might just be my perspective being
The,
skewed.
I watched it back yesterday, and that's where I think we were lacking width. Although we said we were playing wing backs, the starting two ended up being very defensive. Chastity and Moritz were really, really defensive. It was whenever Maltby and Medding came on that we actually started to get a bit of width in the game. I almost think we held ourselves back a bit yesterday by not being, a little more daring, I suppose, and actually trying to have proper wing backs on the pitch.
Yeah, I suppose.
I was
And
impressed with Maltby after she came on. She had it
Yeah,
took her like a
No,
couple of
she
minutes to
was
get
hot,
her
didn't
feet
she?
in the game, but then she had a really
Yeah,
good
yeah.
show.
Within a couple of minutes, she was already having a shot, and I think that's what we needed at times. We needed someone to go, yeah, I'm gonna have a go, and I think that's what Lynn Vilms did really well, as well as a couple of others. When they thought, yeah, I'm gonna take this on, I'm gonna try, because the game just needed something, didn't it? Something to push them forwards. And it felt like Villa did their usual 75 minutes. Right, come on. There was another renewed, lease of life in the last 15. And again, I think subs helped. I've talked about Sarah Malin coming on and making that impact. Missy Bo Kearns, of course, 83rd minute. She found herself in lots of space and nearly scored on the volley. If that had gone in, that would have been very, very impressive indeed. And then Brighton give away a dangerous free kick on the edge of the box, don't they? In what I think that was about 83rd, 84th minute as well, wasn't it? And you just think, is this the moment? Is Vilms going to do it? Is she going to be the one that makes it? And off the crossbar again. If the whole match was a crossbar challenge, would have stopped it. Would have got 1,000,000 points. Fantastic.
We thought that had gone in because
Oh,
it was down the other end, and we saw the entire net move because the keeper fell into the net.
yes.
And so I was like, it looked like the ball had bounced off the crossbar and sort of in and made the net rattle, and we were all like, where's the goal line technology? And then obviously it was back out in the penalty area and it became apparent that we hadn't scored.
That wasn't actually a goal. But at that moment watching it, Emily, I'll come back to you for that one. At that moment, was it like, this is just how this game's going to go? Like, just nothing's going to go in.
Yeah. I did think that when I can't remember who it was. Somebody else took a shot, and you're just like, no, this is how the way this game is going, and the way that we felt like it was being refereed. At that point, I was like, do you know what? We'll take a draw.
Yeah, and I think a draw is still unbeaten.
Yeah, and it's away to Brighton is always a really tough game. So, and I know we beat them at the end, like the last game of last season. But we were still, I think, riding that wave of just like nothing can go wrong. We've just beaten Arsenal. We're doing this. We're doing this.
Yeah, we're going to succeed. It's fine. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I do think Brighton away is a tough game, and these circumstances made it tougher.
Yeah, because usually it's always a 2-1, isn't it? So when we did our predictions last time, it was like, yeah, it's probably going to be a 2-1. There'll be a last-minute winner. There'll be a red card. There'll be a scrap. There'll be a penalty. There'll be, all of these things. And there was a moment where you thought Miri was going to start a fight. in that midfield. But you know what? I think she's quite well deserved. And for the life of me, I can't remember what happened. But I remember, oh, did someone trip her up or pull a shirt? And she just kind of turned around and was like, no, what are you on about? Like, get away.
I can't remember.
Get off, you're not doing that. But yeah, I mean, that's our movie. That's our movie. Now, so we get into, there was 6 minutes of added time on the second half. And we'd had, so Vilms off the crossbar was probably our last proper chance of the game. Brighton then decided, hey, we're going to have a shot with about a minute to go. And luckily, from a Villa perspective, came to nothing. And the game did end 0-0. Was Madison Haley she got to fight with? Yeah, that was it. See, it's in my notes. I wrote it down to mention it. But yeah, so 0-0. And I know, obviously, we've just discussed the game and things like that, but are we feeling quite positive about this season? Gary, come to you.
I am.
Feeling happy?
From what was seen, probably more so in the second half, whenever we were actually trying to push forward a wee bit more. I think. Obviously, last week, one of my concerns was how many goals Brighton had scored in pre-season. You know, they would have had some strikers that were feeling positive, and that's maybe why Phil was set up so defensively. You know, it was more try and keep a clean sheet. But as we started to open up the game as well, and you know, try and actually put a couple of shots in, I think all in all, it was a pretty positive game. And, you know, if we can keep it as tight at the back as we have done during pre-season and again on Sunday, that'd be nice, because, like, the amount of games that we just seemed to be leaking goals last season was one of the reasons why, you know, but we were maybe scoring, but unfortunately we were conceding more than we were scoring, you know, and if we can keep them out and nick a goal or two, happy days.
I was going to say, even at the end of that match, when you were just saying that sort of our last real chance was in the 80-something minute, I didn't feel like... Well, in general, I don't think Brighton posed much of a out-and-out threat to our goal. And especially, you know, previously when we've been trying to, like, hang on to a point, it's felt like that, like we were hanging on, but it didn't feel like that. It sort of, we just carried on playing, we carried on defending, and then it was the end of the game. And I mean, we were stressed, but about the decisions and stuff, not about worrying that we're just gonna be just shot after shot and we're gonna concede.
And how nice is that we didn't feel that, because we're so used to feeling quite worried and quite, like, really not pessimistic, but like we're very real, aren't we, about what the squad have done previously and what we'd expect from the game. So to have that confidence of, well, we're going to keep playing, we're going to keep pushing, we can do this. It's not just all panic stations in the last couple of minutes.
One thing that I like, last season, more often than enough, we came away and felt like a referee had completely done us out of a game. Now, despite the refereeing still being a poor standard on Sunday, we've seen a lot more positives in our own team. You know, we've spoke about Maltby, we've spoke about Merlin, Wilms, DeLons, you know, Missy Bowen, Jill, how Taylor done, how Roebuck done, Sab staying on longer than she should have, but again, she was doing her job and with some brave goalkeeping. Hansen had a couple of chances. Everybody kept trying to get, is it Minimi?
I'm not sure.
The left back for Brighton?
I don't know. She kept trying to beat her on the turn, didn't she?
That two or three times she tried, but the defender just always had her on that wee bit of speed.
Oh, Minami, yes. Yeah.
It was so funny watching that, but again, she was trying to be positive. She tried to put a couple across the box. You know, I've been one of Emily's biggest critics in the past as well, because she forgets that she's a member of a team, and usually just goes for it, but even her style of play and everything's changed. We can see the players maturing. We can see the team
Yes.
maturing, and we're actually starting to play some fairly solid football.
Yeah, no, and to watch the evolution, like you said, is something that's really, really positive indeed. And yeah, Ebony versus Minami and Olaslaga's down that side, absolutely. And I will just say, before we come to you, Emma, of course, I haven't forgotten about you. Rachel McLaughlin had a really good game, especially in that first half as well for Brighton. Just to balance it out a little bit.
Yeah, I can't remember if we decided it was 21 or 27, but she had a really good game. 21.
They-
I think.
21, 20.
But
Well, McLaughlin was
McLaughlin got
27 and Haley was 21.
Mm.
So, yeah.
going by the WSL YouTube channel. Whenever I watched that back yesterday, they give McLaughlin man of the match. But whenever or
did.
player of the match, sorry. But whenever I watched the Sky sort of highlights, they'd actually give it to Brighton's goalkeeper.
Which I did not understand at all.
Really?
Yeah, it's like all the broadcasters pick their own player of the match.
Oh, because I'd recorded it on Sky, and they'd chosen McLaughlin.
I saw that.
What did I see then? Where it showed the keeper as player of the match?
I don't know.
I saw she got picked to be in Stato's team of the week, which I didn't understand. I didn't think she had a very good game at all.
A lot of the
I mean,
balls
they
went
kept a
straight
clean
to her.
sheet, but
Like, she didn't have to do a lot.
She,
and she kept.
yeah,
She
I
was,
mean,
she
what
nearly
was it,
got
Emma?
caught several times.
Yeah. Yeah, she didn't look as solid as I was expecting, because we've seen her in international competitions, haven't we, and what she can do, and a brilliant name to bring in, but yeah, I didn't think she was as confident looking as I thought she would have been. Clearly pressure from Villa.
Emma,
Now,
what was?
I personally would love to see Daly's love go over. Yeah, because she did start off her line something silly. I'm surprised Wilms didn't have a go from our own half.
Mm.
Oh yeah, we'll have to remember it for next time when they. Oh, apparently Brighton's own page. Maybe Brighton voted
Might have
for.
been that.
Might have voted for that. But yeah. But Emma, we will come to you. So yeah, after that performance, we know it's only been one match. How are you feeling? Are you happy with that performance?
I don't want to say it because I said this last year, and then look at where we were before 5 games before the end of the season.
Yeah, but look how we
thought it
ended.
I'm not going to say I'm optimistic, because that is the incorrect word, and that's the word that got us into trouble last year. So yeah, I'm fairly happy, in fairness. Like, we've got the squad depth as well, which we did have last season, and then we lost half of it. So as long as we can bring in some wingers, maybe in January, like on Santa's late wish list, some wingers would be nice. But yeah, we seem to be playing as a team as well, which is very rare for us, because it's normally just 11 players on a pitch trying to do their own thing.
They seem very much, yeah, I agree. They seem very much more like a unit now, don't they?
And they're communicating with each other as well. Like, I
Yes.
saw a lot on Sunday. I missed quite a bit of the second half. But on Sunday when Sabs was on, I'm not sure about what Ellie was doing, because obviously I missed the second half. But Sabs was very, very vocal and communicating a lot with the team. And then obviously those messages were then getting passed down to those at the front, which I don't think we saw a lot last season. So it's nice to have that communication. It's nice to actually, the players know what they're doing, they know what their roles are, and they know where they need to be, whereas we didn't see that at all, really, apart from the last sort of 5 or 6 games last season. So yeah, definitely looking up.
Yeah, no, it is. And it was really nice that, we got to a point last season where, the frustration was very obvious, wasn't it, between the players and between the team. So the fact that was a really strong performance, in essence, got a point, kept a clean sheet, then yeah, I think things are only getting better. And Kajua put earlier on, we don't sound happy with Natalia Arroyo. We are. We just have some questions about how she's playing certain people. Because in the transfer window, we all said ideally could have brought in a few more players just to have that depth. Because as we've kind of mentioned, we've got a strong starting 11, but if you look on the bench, who else are we going to bring on? Are they of equal quality? Are they better, or are they actually? Is there a bit of a disparity between that quality? So it will come, hopefully. Hopefully January is the one where we can really add and see what we need. And hey, cup run for Villa. We always say it, don't we? I'd love a cup run this
Depends
year.
if we cheat or
If we field legal players, then yes, absolutely, we'll take cup run.
Just on that point that Nick's made about Ellie can shout, I think I was actually really impressed with because obviously it's a new team and it was the first time she'd been back in the league. I was really impressed with how well she sort of commanded the back line and got involved. Like, she could have easily been let like nerves and stuff overtake her. But yeah, I was really impressed with how involved she was with everything.
Yeah, because it would have been easy to almost take a step back-ish, see how it played out, get those
or feel like you can't sort of,
or feel like you can't
stamp your authority on a new team coming in at half time for the first game back in the league. Yes. But the whole team obviously have gelled really well over pre-season, and they obviously feel like a team already.
Yes, that they can do it. Gary, what were you going to say?
I was going to say that although she only played one game for Barcelona, she still would have been training with that caliber of player.
Yeah.
And if you were shouting at them and telling them what to do, it's probably a wee bit easier coming to Villa and shouting at them and telling them what to do. Although she maybe didn't get in a match time, they're still going to play games and training and stuff like that. She was still going to have to be vocal and command her area. So she's probably built their confidence from being at a club like Barcelona. Despite their money issues now, they have had a number of top players, and if you can command them, you're doing all right.
Exactly, yeah. And just be in that environment, like you said. If your standards are up here, if you're coming into another team, you'll go, actually, this is the way we should be doing it. Come on, let's get better together, essentially. Let's keep going.
We've made Nick feel positive.
I was just about to say, this is why we do the podcast, to bring the positivity. Because Nick says, I don't know how, but you guys have made me feel positive about only getting a point against a team we normally beat when they had a stronger. Hey, it's what we're here for, Nick. To turn that frown upside down. That's exactly what we need to do. Because initially when we said, how are we feeling? Was that a good start? Nick was a bit confused. No? Yes? Maybe. We'll see how we do. Because, of course, only one game in. It could get better. It could get worse. Being a Villa fan is a roller coaster, and we're all here for it. And speaking of roller coasters, who've got next week? Chelsea, but at home. So, I say next week. It's Thursday. I don't really know where I am. Sunday we have. Sunday we welcome Chelsea. Chelsea, of course, are missing some players through injury, as are we. However, if anyone watched their game versus Man City, Ellie Carpenter is going to be a force to be reckoned with. I mean, we knew she was good, but watching her come straight into the league, and again, one of these players that's just been dropped into the league and just gone, yep, okay, and just completely ran with it. So we've got a point on the board. So again, we're already doing better than last season. Gary, how are you feeling about this weekend?
Ellie Carpenter was the only person in the Chelsea. I only watched the highlights of the Chelsea game, to be fair. But Ellie Carpenter was the only real player that stood out watching their highlights.
Yeah.
Other than that, the Chelsea team didn't look as impressive as it generally has been.
Yeah.
This might be the right time to play them,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
but with the couple of injuries that they have, the Lucy Bronze injury is completely irrelevant because she's been replaced by Ellie Carpenter, and it's like a carbon copy sort of quite thing, just completely commands the right hand side of the pitch.
Sure. I don't
Well,
know if anyone saw the heat map that they put on during the match, but it wasn't just a couple of dots here and there on the right hand side. All of it was just like a thick red line of where she'd been, because she'd been everywhere. But like tracking back, like everything was just top notch. And again, quality Champions League player. Obviously international as well, but yeah, what a player to add to the squad. And funnily enough, guess who's a Chelsea fan in the chat? Gachia is helping us out there. So Lucy Bronze, LJ Ramirez, all out, of course. Promise it'll be painless. I doubt that very highly. Why does it keep showing the same one? I do apologise. There we go. Yes, there we go. However, they've got talent. Aggie Beaver Jones, of course, in incredible scoring form. Vika Kaptein as well. Micah Hermano, I will say, is really growing in confidence in this Chelsea
She had a
side
good game,
as well.
didn't she?
she was really the right place for her goal. She was.
Yeah.
She knows how to move around the pitch, definitely.
Yeah. And Sophie's in agreement. Ella Carpenter scares me. I mean, but what a game to watch though. From that perspective. But yeah, Emma, how are you feeling about the weekend?
I was feeling. Oh, I'm not going to say I was feeling confident, but I was feeling, okay. But then you reminded me of Ellie Carpenter, and now I'm feeling not so okay.
I do apologise. We like to keep an equal balance again on the pod. We need to.
That's true.
Yeah. We aren't deluded. We don't look through rose-tinted glasses. We're very real on the pod. Emily, what about you? What are you thinking?
I don't. The Ellie Carpenter thing does scare me because she was really dangerous last week, and she was up against Alex Greenwood.
Yeah.
So
made Alex Greenwood look average, essentially.
So, like, on one hand, I would be happy with a draw. Like, I think that would be a really good. Well, it would be a really good result for us.
Yeah.
But also, like, when we played them last season at home, that was a really close game, and was it 1-0? Sarah scored an own goal right at the end. So, and that was before we got into our purple patch. That was when we were still scrambling around and not really knowing what we were doing. And Chelsea were obviously, peak mid-season, in full flow. Yeah. So, on the other hand, I'm thinking, well, why shouldn't the result be that tight again on Sunday? We could and be in our favour, because
I think it has a chance, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because we always play well against Chelsea.
Again, we always kind of
apart from the 6-0 defeat.
We won't talk about that. That was a different time. But you're right. We always we look to your Chelseas and your big clubs being like, yeah, we'll show you. Come on, then. So yeah, it's going to be tight. I mean, if you guys still had Jordan, it'd be a tighter game. Well, Jordan wasn't even in the squad for Newcastle, so there we go.
Really?
Don't know why. No, didn't come on. Wasn't in the squad. And
I think we'll be interested to see our lineup on Sunday. We could potentially start with the same back five.
Yeah, that's fair. They've just said their peak.
Yeah, are we going to change? Yeah, to adapt. So that'll really be a question for Arroyo. Is she going to?
But then City done quite well on counter against Chelsea. Chelsea didn't have it all their own way. But we would really be relying on Ebony and Kirsty to sort of stay up. I'm probably playing the long balls with their back five, you know.
Yeah. Because against City, Chelsea had 8 shots, only 3 were on target, whereas City had 17 shots and only 5 were on target. And yet Chelsea did score, and we know what they can do with very little. So yeah, I think if we just keep our defence tight, we keep doing what we're doing, bring the game to them, I think we can definitely give it a good shot for. I'm not expecting a win by any means, but a point would be an incredible result, wouldn't it? Yeah, I'd love us to get a draw. I really, really would. And why not? Let's be positive. That's awesome.
We do look tighter in defence. You know, as we said, compared to last season, the defence does look tighter.
Yeah.
And if we kept Chelsea to 1-0 both games last season, it'd be nice to, you know, at least keep it as low, if not lower. You know, but if we came away from that game with another 0-0, I'd be fucking ecstatic.
I know.
You know,
Imagine
that's a big deal.
Chelsea, yeah. That'd be incredible. But as Sophie says, you know, Millie Bright could be exploited because we've got some, you know, very, very, very quick players up top. So yeah, I think it can be done even for, you know, periods of the match. But if we can really get into it and just take the chances, and that's what's ultimately gonna boil down to, isn't it?
When set pieces, like we've got Wilms and DeLong.
Yeah.
Yes, make the most of them.
Some set pieces and make the most of them.
Absolutely, because we've seen the quality that comes from them. Pretty much last question then. Do we think teams might see us as more of a threat now because of the end of last season? Or do we think teams in general are a bit more cautious because of how the league is developing? Has anyone got any thoughts about that?
I think it depends if they saw the Soccer Donna post.
I think we're still a little bit under the radar because of the way London City have came in and made a statement. You know, I know that their match didn't really go the way they would have liked it to have went, but the players that they've brought in, if they click and show the talent that they can, London City's probably the one that everybody has their eye on because that is a squad.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at, even Aslani, you know, everyone said, you know, what's she going to do coming into a championship side? And she didn't really, she was good. Of course she was good. But at the weekend, you saw she really stepped up and she was like, yep, this is where I'm meant to be. This is the level I'm meant to be playing at. So, yeah, I think give them a couple of weeks, give them a month maybe-ish, and just see where they're at. Because the names they've got in that squad, and even some of their younger talent as well, they should be able to do some damage. I don't think disrupt the top 4 in their first season, but I definitely think they might maybe take another point from those that maybe people don't expect them to. If they get going.
I think it's gelling issues with them, isn't it? Because they bought didn't they bring 16 players in or something stupid?
Like 95, I think. Yeah,
so that's a lot. That's a lot of players to bring into a new team and then get them gelled all before all over just over pre-season, which isn't actually that long in theory. Yeah. Plus, they were still doing business at the end of the transfer window. So.
We're doing business midnight. Right, can you come over? Can we get you from Lyon? But yeah, they've got, and for a lot of them, it's a brand new league as well. The WSL, so many people have said it's one of the hardest leagues to kind of adjust to and play with. So
also, completely aside, how long are we expecting Grace Gaora to stay at London City? She's heading to Lyon.
She'll be gone in January.
Yeah. There's no way she's not going back to Lyon. To Lyon, rather, from PSG.
Yeah, that was ridiculous when that was announced, wasn't it? So yeah, Grace Gaora
I'm very cynical about the whole multi-club thing.
Yeah, she'll probably come for a bit, experience WSL, think, not for me, I'm off back to France. So yeah, I can see her at Lyon by the end of the season. I genuinely can. Let's see if we agree with what Katrina's posted here. So, based on threat, Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs, Villa, City,
Really?
Brighton, Liverpool, Arsenal, Leicester. I agree with Leicester at the bottom.
I
Don't
would
agree with
pick,
Spurs being high up.
I would switch United
Yeah.
and Spurs probably.
Yeah, I would.
I do like that you've placed this above City though. That's very kind of you.
Yes, that's very nice. Yeah, City, again, they're in a period of transition as well. Liverpool, I'm worried for them. Although they did have a good first half, just again couldn't put their chances away. But yeah, Leicester, yeah, they've really put their foot in it, haven't they, this season?
They did a lot of panic buying, I think, at the end of the window.
Well, they brought in
I'm
Emily Van
pretty sure we
Eck
were talking about how they.
for like.
I don't know how they got
Yes,
that.
I was watching her play for Orlando when I was at uni, and that was 10 years ago.
And she was at Birmingham City. I'd understand if it was she was at the end of a contract, but she wasn't. She'd literally just signed for like it just. But yeah, it just feels like very disjointed, and just very. Yeah, they're gonna have to work hard, I think. So whether Matt Beard does go to Leicester or not is the rumor. That'll be an interesting one. But yeah,
I completely forgot Spurs had a new manager.
Yeah, Martin Hall, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Which again, he's saying all the right things, Martin Hall. But
was he a certain manager that we all know and don't love?
Yeah, it's true. Hey, actions and words, you're absolutely right, say two different things. Because they won at the weekend through a Beth England penalty as well. So not from open play. And West Ham actually had better of the chances. Sorry, Katia. But hey, one game in.
West Ham are worrying.
West Ham?
West Ham are worrying me. I feel like they started to pick up at the end of last season, and I feel like they might carry it on this season.
They're very inconsistent. They've got the players to do well.
That's the only issue, I think.
Like Shakira Martinez, I mean, she's incredible.
She's so good.
Anna Say, they've got the names to do well, but do it inconsistently. And I know Rianne Skinner, interestingly, just as a little one before we go, but she kind of said, well, the money in the game, we need to be careful because if people suddenly start saying, yeah, $1 million for you, $2 million for you, the money's not there in the game with that revenue, and we don't want the league to then essentially collapse and to not be able to support itself. So we need to be realistic, and these big money transfers, yeah, they're great because it shows people are willing to spend that, but we need to be realistic across the board, and just make sure people aren't running away with these fantasy ideas. So yeah, interesting one to watch, of course. So let's run down fixtures for the weekend, and then we can finish because we've had a lovely little chat tonight. So match day 2, West Ham Arsenal. And in fact, let's do some little predictions. Why not? So shout out who you think is going to win, and if you've got any score predictions. So West Ham Arsenal up front. Who do we think might win that one?
Arsenal.
All for Arsenal, yeah.
Arsenal.
I think West Ham might score first.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a clean sheet.
Yeah.
No, I think because I know someone in the chat earlier as well said about I think it was Coach again, saying I hope Villa really keep and develop their keepers because we've had various keepers over the last few years. But Van Domselaar, again, she can be caught out, and we've as all keepers can, but we need to remember she's not superhuman, as some would like us to think. So yes, don't think clean sheet for that one. Okay, next up, Man City Brighton. What do you think?
Ooh.
I think that's got to be tight, but Man City might just pip it.
Because I was home, yeah.
I think Man City might nick it at the end.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Maybe like a 2-1.
Yeah,
or maybe
I can't
even
see
1-0.
Brighton scoring against Man City.
Yeah, maybe 1-0. Because both of those, by the way, are on tomorrow night at 7:30. Both at the same time. Yep, Friday Night Football.
2.
This
Yeah.
is really annoying.
Oh boy.
Why are they putting all the matches on at the
I've
same
got
time?
work till 8. No.
I know. So they're doing
had
it really weirdly. So opening weekend, of course, they had the one on the Friday, the one on the Saturday, the rest on Sunday. For the next 2 weeks.
There's no Saturday match this week, is there?
There's no Saturday match this week, so there's 2 on Friday, then the other 4 on Sunday. Then again for match day 3, there's 2 on the Friday, 4 on the Sunday. And then match days 4 is over Saturday, Sunday, I think. Match day 5 is again over at 3 days. So yeah, it's a bit of a, and then match day 6 we're all on a Sunday. So it's all over the place, and I don't like it.
At
All the
least
same
we've gained
time,
5
or-
minutes on the day we play West Ham. Lost 5.
Yay!
Yeah, because that's changed to, what's it changed to now? 11:55
Yeah, from 12 o'clock.
from 12 o'clock. So yeah, a whole 5 minutes earlier. Thank you so much, Sky. For
It's in
that.
case we get stuck in traffic on the way.
Yes, exactly. Leave a little bit earlier, and then it'll be absolutely fine. Right, next up, the biggest match of the weekend: Aston Villa Chelsea. What do you think?
0-0.
I'm going for a 0-0. I'd love to see a 0-0.
Yeah, 0-0. Yeah. Why not? Why not? Indeed, I'd really love to see that. Next up, London City, Man United. United. Of course, they were in action tonight. They were playing against Bran in their third round qualifying and lost 1-0. But
Did they?
it is over 2 legs. So yeah, lost 1-0. Over 2 legs, so they'll be welcoming Bran to LSV next Thursday, where hopefully they will go through. If not, they go through to the Europa Cup, which no
I
one's
also
talking about.
forgot what's happening.
Well, exactly, yeah. So so that actually started last night.
What?
And there's someone tonight as well. And that just shows you no one's talking about it because no one knew, and I certainly didn't. So
I thought that was a thing that was like being muted to happen at some point in the future.
no, it's happening. It's happening. So all of the teams that got through to the final of the first 2 qualifying rounds, so from the second qualifying round, they got through to the final but didn't win the final to get them through to the third round. Those 9 of them, 11 of them, one of them, they've now got through to the first qualifying round of the Europa Cup. There you go. So yeah, so I'm under the impression of if United lose this qualifying round, they'll go through to the next round of the Europa Cup qualifying.
So there aren't any teams that go directly to the Europa Cup.
I don't think so.
At least, not like it's like 3rd, 4th, and 5th place in our league would. Is it meant to like
most,
open up to
that's
more
the thing.
leagues? Is that the thing, rather than more teams from
So
the
it's-
existing leagues that already get to play European football?
Yeah, so it's essentially so team allocation. So it's for the other associations that don't necessarily get a chance to play in Champions League. So associations 8 to 13 and 18 to 24 have one team qualified directly. So from the lower ranked associations. 31 teams eliminated from the Women's Champions League will be transferred over to the Europa Cup. So yeah, so for example, so Czech Republic, Netherlands, Denmark, Norway, Austria, and Ukraine have one team qualified directly. and then the other associations that I already said as well. So it's mainly for the ones who don't get a chance in Champions League go directly, and then the ones that get knocked out of the Champions League enter through those qualifying rounds, if that makes sense.
Feels like you could cut out a segment of games if you just had like less places available for less qualifying places for Champions League in the first place, and made one of them directly Europa League.
You'd think so.
But then I suppose.
So I've just got the access list up.
Team doesn't get a chance to even to play Champions League. I don't know.
Yes. So what I'm going to do, I'll save this, but then I'm actually going to write an article on it. So if anyone's interested, I'll put it all in there. But essentially, so entering in the first round, you've got the 6 runners-up from associations 18 to 24, and 5 third-place teams from associations 9 to 13. So they go into the first round automatically. And teams entering from the Champions League are the 7 third-place teams from the second round Champions Path mini tournament, and the 4 third-place teams from the second round League Path mini tournaments as well. So Man United are currently in the 3rd round qualifiers. So the ones that got knocked out of the first and second,
They've already gone.
That's a lie. Only the second round Champions League, who got knocked out, go through and join the other ones.
What happens if you get knocked out in the first round?
You don't get through, I don't think. Yeah,
That's crazy.
so seven third-place teams from the second round Champions Path, 4 third-place teams from the second round League Path. Yeah, so first round qualifiers of the Champions League get knocked. We're done. So there's 32 teams in the second round of the Europa Cup. So it's 1 third-place team from association number 8, which we mentioned earlier. 11 winners from the first round of qualifying. And then you get from Champions League 4 losers. Losers all sounds really harsh, doesn't it? 4 losers from the 3rd round Champions Path, 5 losers from the 3rd round League Path, 7 runners-up from the 2nd round Champions Path mini tournaments, and 4 runners-up from the 2nd round League Path mini tournaments as well. So everyone's coming together really in that second round of everyone is qualified. And then it goes to a round of 16, which will be the 16 winners from the second round. So nice and straightforward, really. Nice and easy.
Yeah.
And so much so that Emma's left. She's like, no, not having any of this. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I mean, Kaju's in there. Chelsea 3, Villa 0. I hope not.
Emma's frozen.
Oh, I can't even see Emma.
No, she said everything's frozen.
Yeah, crashed out on her. She froze again.
Oh no. Okay. Well, it's okay. We're going soon. Don't worry, Emma. Don't worry. So yeah, I really hope at some point there will be an opportunity for like the men's have like the Conference League and the all those different things, because imagine Villa in Europe, like that would be incredible.
Yeah, that would be cool.
A taste of European football. So they'll probably introduce it at some point, of course. It's going that way, absolutely. Right, 2 more then.
If you win the Europa Cup League thing,
right?
Do you just win it? It doesn't like qualify you for the Champions League next year?
Yes, I believe so. I think you just win. Yeah. Let's have a look.
I suppose it wouldn't work to qualify because then there'd be an odd number. Like if you qualified, then 1 less team out of your league would qualify. But I suppose that's the point. Not all of the leagues qualify for the Champions League in the first place.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's just as it is. You just win the cup. I say just win a cup as if it's like just a cup. Like that'd be incredible to win the cup. But
stay with us, Emma. Hold on, we're almost there.
Like 2 minutes, Emma. That's it. Right, we've only got 2 more predictions to make.
Wait, there's one more thing. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
It would be typical Villa for us to qualify for Champions League's playoff thingies and then go out in that first round, so we would still not even get a shot at Europa League. That would just be typical Villa.
It would. It really would. And then we'd get all excited and then
play one game again.
Like we've all travelled to Poland or
It
something.
seems very unfair that the first round people don't like.
I know, it's really sad that the first round don't, but yes, I'll do a bit more research. I'll put it all together in a nice article, and I'll share it with everyone to let everyone know. Right then. So next up, we've got Leicester Liverpool, which I think will be very telling of the rest of the season. Any predictions for that one?
I think that's going to be tight.
I think that's got to be another tight one. I can see that ending up a draw.
I was going to say either 0-0 or 4-4.
One or the other. Yeah, they found their shooting boots. Speaking of shooting boots, did we see the story that Man United's boots went missing on their plane over to Bran? So the club sourced them boots. It's fine. But yeah, one of their bags went missing with some of their boots. So there you go. And I'm not being funny, but if I was a football player, those boots would be my hand luggage. I wouldn't be trusting them. In the halls, not at all. So maybe in future they can take their boots on. And the last one of the weekend, which is slightly later than the others at 2:30, is Everton versus Spurs.
Everton.
Everton. Got to be
Everton like that.
Ornella Vignola was incredible at the weekend, getting her hat-trick at Anfield. And
please change my team. Sorry.
Yes, everyone changed fancy teams. Yes, good. I mean, Ellie Carpenter, luckily I put in mine the first week because I couldn't afford her this week. So she stayed in. But yeah, I mean, Everton, they've finally got the investment. Brian Sorensen can do what he's been wanting to do for so many years. So what a time to be an Everton fan. 6 derbies under they've won at Anfield now.
Everton are going to fight.
I hope so. I really do. Because I was doing the table for the graphics, and it said, if we stop the league now, then, if we can believe it, Man United, Arsenal, Everton. if we stop the league now, Chelsea in fourth at the moment. Villa in 6th. Quite happy with that. But yeah, Leicester down at the bottom after that 4-0 loss to United. So there we go. But everything can change in an instant, of course. And we can't wait. And that, I think, is it. Does anyone have anything else they want to talk about before we leave?
No, I think we've covered most bases.
Hopefully we'll get an injury update before Sunday.
I was going to say, hopefully we get an injury. I was like, I hope not.
That
Oh,
would
we
be
haven't got anyone on then. Yes, hopefully we get updates. And yeah, I miss, if anyone from Villa is watching, we miss the injury graphics. We miss those so much. So yes, please bring them back, Villa, if you are able to, because it just keeps us nice and up to date. And Emily's got a spreadsheet that she likes to keep updated, so with all the information on. So yes, so please bring those back. This curl is driving me crazy. Apologies to everyone who's been watching me try to hide it all session. But yes, let's leave it there, shall we? So yeah, thank you both. It's been lovely. Nice little chat. Thank you.
Emma's gone again.
And yeah, Emma's gone. But last comment, Salmon versus Carpenter will be fun. And we can't wait for that matchup. So yes, we will be back next Thursday at 8 o'clock as usual. Hopefully talking lots of positive things versus Chelsea. So yeah, I'm going to, again, I promise, I'm going to play the correct end video this time. And hopefully it all goes well with the layout. So yes, thank you so much for watching, for listening, for getting involved in the chat. We absolutely love it. And we will see you again very, very soon. So let's try it. Will it work?